break down, baby.
I'm doing stuff like things.
People in hell want Slurpees.
Badass motherfucker, a BAMF, a BAMF.
The BAM Walker Podcast.
Welcome. I'm back. It's been a while since I've done a podcast. The Walking Dead being away for a while, and me not being able to give you any new news or anything like that. It's been pretty dead on the Walking Dead news. I'm gonna start doing more tweets, some more vines. I'm doing them every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. They'll be released probably around 6 o'clock at night, Eastern time. But there's recently been a lot of news, a lot of different things coming out of wetpaint.com. They give me a lot of the things that I tweet about. They give you like sections of stuff, like there's spoilers, season 4, news, Norman Reedus, Andrew Lincoln cast are all the type of things that you can read about. The top news, it talks about the actors' lives, like Norman Reedus spent Thanksgiving with the Duck Dynasty cast, and he says that they seemed pretty sophisticated. Also, it tells you about the show, like how Daryl Dixon will survive with his identity he'll struggle with his identity without Team Prison. Also, stuff like how Carol might come up in The Walking Dead a lot sooner than we are thinking. I'm thinking she's probably coming about halfway through the second half of the season, but this is saying that it'll probably be earlier. And it's also talking about how Rick and Carl's relationship is gonna have another turn, like how season 3, before Lori's death, Carl was kind of a smartass and didn't really care about his relationship with his dad, but then once his mom died, he kind of woke up and realized how he has to be better to his dad, and how his dad is really helping him out with all this stuff. And it's also talking about who's going to die, who's going to be alive, the sanctuary that we heard about, a bunch of that stuff. So this is going to be a really short podcast, probably 10-15 minutes. It's just going to be me talking about some of the things that I've heard, and by no means are any of these spoilers. I do not know any of these. I haven't heard them from actors. I haven't heard them from the producers or any of the things like that. They're all fan speculated. It's what we as fans think are going to happen during the show. It's not like these are set facts that were released. And I know a lot of the spoilers are bullshit. Like, there was one account who said that I can't believe AMC let the spoiler leak about Maggie killing herself or something like that. That's not true. That's probably not going to happen because Maggie seems a lot stronger. They assumed that that's what was going to happen because of in the comics it shows how Maggie killed herself. She hung herself. But just I'm going to talk a little bit about some of that kind of stuff, confirm or deny that it'll happen. In my opinion, it's not fact or anything, but there was a very smart thing that I heard about how Lizzie may turn into Ben, and if you don't know who Ben is, you probably won't want to listen to this because he's from the comics, and if you're thinking about reading the comics, you probably don't want to get it spoiled or anything like that, so I would recommend listening to it later and fast forwarding. But basically what happened was Ben killed his brother, and Carl took it upon himself to kill Ben because he was a danger to the group, just like Lizzie's I wouldn't call her a psychopath, but people are. I think that she's one of the best characters out there, in my opinion, actually. But just because she's different. I think that that's a possibility. I wouldn't say that it's true or it's going to happen, but I wouldn't doubt that that's what is going to happen, because they want to bring it back. All of season 4, the second half, is going to be based on the comics, is what they keep saying, that it's going to resemble the comics. Like, the first episode is going to completely be right out of the comics, like where Rick is like in a coma, kind of, something like that. I wouldn't know what the medical term would be, but where he's sleeping and Carl's trying to wake him up, that's right out of the comics. I just really can't wait to see that episode. It's been a while since we've seen a new episode, and we're gonna learn a lot and figure some stuff out. But there's a bunch of stuff that could be a possibility and could come back. So we'll be right back after this.
In my hands, I hold the ashes. In my veins, black pitch runs. In my chest, fire catches. In my way, setting sun. Dark clouds get around me. To the west, my soul's bound, but I will go on ahead free. There's a light yet to be found. Last pale light in the west. Last pale light in the west. And I ask for no redemption in this cold, barren place. Still I see a faint reflection, and so by it, got my way. Last pale light in the west. Last pale light in the west.
Busy World Speaks production.
Welcome back. So basically there's a few things that I want to go over before the second half airs. The first episode is going to be mainly about Carl, which Rick is going to be not going to be really present in it. He's going to be in his coma-like thing. And that's going to be storyline A, and then storyline B is going to be Michonne. Then that's like one of the things that we pretty much know just from websites telling us that. But then the second episode, we can kind of assume it's going to be like the other groups. So it's going to show what's going on with the other groups and how they're surviving and what they're doing at that time. So another thing is Daryl gets his own episode, just like how the governor got it. The governor got 2, but Daryl's going to have a centered episode all about him and a bunch of stuff like that, like his past kind of. and how that's going to play into the future. Also, there's that release thing that they had on Talking Dead, the last episode of the first half, where it was Carl walking with the walkers, trying to like fish him away from the house. I think he's like stepping up and protecting his dad and keeping him from dying, and he's trying his hardest, but this is really going to affect their relationship. You can see in one of the promos where it's Rick and Carl walking on the railroad tracks, and Carl's in front of him, and Rick's kind of yelling to Carl to wait up, slow down so that we can stick together, but Carl's kind of like in his own bubble, like, this guy's being a prick right now, so I can't really slow down because that could affect my safety. But then I think he realizes that he needs to help his dad because his dad's helped him so much. Also, Morgan Jones is going to come back. I know from talking with the mayor of Grantville when I was down in Georgia that he said that they're going to come back, and they're not really using the area that they were before, where Morgan's apartment was. That's what the town is known for, Morgan's apartment, and the episode Clear was completely filmed there. But they're using a different part of the city, and they're speculating that that's going to be where Morgan comes back. They didn't say what cast was there at the time, but that's what's going to go on with that. And it's going to be a little bit later in the season. It's going to be like episode 12, 13, possibly 14, but I doubt it. And Michonne gets 2 new walker pets, so she uses her old logic of the walkers that she had before, the Mosley, and the other guy. They have a new set of walkers without arms and without jaws, just like before. Now with Judith, reports, and they're not official reports or anything, but like guesses say that Judith is gonna be fine because you can see Luke in the season finale, or the half-season finale, with Judith's diaper bag, and then you can see Lizzie holding it later when she was walking with Micah on the railroad tracks. And Carol's definitely coming back. That's not just gonna die out like that. If you're on The Walking Dead, you die on The Walking Dead. You don't just kind of disappear. But there's definitely gonna be a turn in Carl and Rick's relationship. When Melissa McBride, Carol, comes back, there have been photos of her with Tyrese and Lizzie and Micah, so I think that that's going to be how she comes back into the group, and Tyrese still doesn't know that she killed Karen, or that we think she killed Karen, and he could have like an epiphany without knowing it's an epiphany by really figuring out that Carol is a good person and wouldn't do anything like that, and he already knows that, but like if he is around her a lot and knows that she's really a good person and she did it for the group as a positive for the group so that no one else dies, he might forgive her, and when he does find out that she killed those people, that she is a good person and she deserves to live, and that it's like she's gonna be okay, in my opinion. They can't kill off the last female from season 1 because that really just ends the original series how it was, and it'll end our connection with all of the characters in season 1. So, that's pretty much all I have. I'm gonna probably do another one this Friday, or a week from today, and I'll probably sum up